from the House, or else we're going to lose a majority, and he doesn't want a Democrat majority in the House. I can guarantee you that.
Either way, there's a strong showing for Florida. Pam Bondi, of course, who had previously served in Florida. Susie Wiles, also from Florida, living there. So well represented, by the way. We know the president is speaking. So if our producers want to tell me, we can always go back to that. And we hate to interrupt you, Congressman. But while we've got you here, you mentioned Matt Gaetz. As we know, he will not be returning to Congress, at least at this point. But there are some rumors that perhaps he's weighing a governorship run. A Florida official saying Gaetz should run for governor of Florida. Gaetz responding with the Florida state flag. You see something like this happening?
That he would run for Florida's governor? Yeah, but I also see a whole bunch of other people running for Florida governor, and so it's going to be a crowded field. And so we'll see how it all shakes out. Look, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a Gaetz fan. He caused a lot of ruckus here in the House, and so wish him luck, but he's not going to be running alone.
There will be lots of candidates, I imagine, that will go for that role. I want to get to this, though. We're watching live pictures of the pardoning of two turkeys at the White House. You've got President Joe Biden there with these two turkeys. What were their names again, Emma?
Peach and Blossom.
Peach and Blossom.
Yeah.
Your thoughts, though, on some of these ceremonies that they're still holding and just the state of the presidency right now with Joe Biden still in there with under 60 days to go before he leaves office?
Yeah, I think that, it's winding down. I hope that he doesn't make some really bad decisions in the last 60 days. The American people have said they want America to go in a different direction, not the direction that he was leading us into. And so I hope that he would just wind it down and really just pass the baton to President Trump so that we can make America great again.
Yeah.
These ceremonies are nice. Pardoning two turkeys. I know when I was the mayor of Miami-Dade County, I actually pardoned two pigs for Christmas because down here in our part of the world, we have what's called Noche Buena, and roasted pig is part of our tradition. So I pardoned two pigs. So I understand pardoning the two turkeys, what that's all about.
Yeah, no, you love to hear that, by the way. Different states, different cities have different traditions. It's fun. It's what makes this country great. But, since will be, offering a pardon here for these turkeys, it does lead me to my next more legitimate question, which is, obviously his son is facing some legal trouble and could be awaiting, sentencing of his own. President Biden has promised not to pardon his son, Hunter Biden, but do you see something changing in the final few weeks of his term that could come in for his son?
Yes, I do, because I never believe anything that President Biden says. And we should know that by now after almost 4 years of President Biden. And so he said that he wouldn't. But at the end, look, he's not going to be president again. That is his son. And so therefore, I would think that there's a good possibility that he says, well, I changed my mind, then I will be pardoning my son. It is part of his family. And again, like I said, I never believed anything he said anyway. He said the border was secure for 3.5 years. Everything was fine. He said the world was great, that Bidenomics was working. I mean, never listen to what he says, just watch what he does.
Do you think President-elect Trump might pardon Hunter Biden?
I doubt it. I don't think so. I think that that would be, I don't think he will. I think that, frankly, I expect Joe Biden to pardon his son on the final day of his presidency. And then he'll go off into the sunset. And if he doesn't, it actually would kind of surprise me because it is his son, and as president, you have the power to do that. So we'll see what happens, but I believe he will.
Yeah. Well, it's the two turkeys today. We know that for sure. Florida Congressman Carlos Gimenez, thanks so much for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving to you. We appreciate it.
Likewise. Happy Thanksgiving to you and to all your viewers.
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Take care.